Hey, Greg. For moments there, you guys looked to be headed in the right direction there. They had the penalty kick and then the header sort of changed things around there. What did you see from the sideline there?
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of the day, I was pleased with our performance. I was pleased with our effort, our energy. We punished ourselves today. Today we killed ourselves today, and that's unfortunate against a good team. You know, that's has momentum in their favor, and you know, the first goal, we give the ball away right in front of us. That just starts a transition, and so. You know, we're trying to manage it. We managed the first one. It pops back out. A little bit unlucky maybe, but it is what it is. And ball goes wide, and you don't want Vela in that situation. We've seen that goal 200 times over his career probably. Now we're down 1-0. And again, you feel a little bit, for a few minutes, I felt like there was some, again, disappointment in the group because honestly, for the first 20 minutes, there was one team on the field. I know they're really good. But they couldn't get the ball off of us. They couldn't stop us from going forward, and they couldn't get a possession going in our half of the field. That's not their game. Their game is about killing you in transition, and that's what they did in that particular moment because we gave it to them. But I felt the emotion after that a little bit, which I think slowed down the speed at which the ball was moving prior to that, which was creating so many problems for them. We started to get a little bit bogged down, but I think we kind of came out of it, got the goal. Tyler hit a laser, which sometimes you need something like that just to unlock the goal a little bit. And it also put us at 1-1 coming into halftime. And again, I thought the game was a little bit of a stalemate in the beginning of the second half at 1-1. And it was, you know, we're starting to look at ways to pick up the speed, the intensity again, stuff like that. And that's when in the course of 2 minutes, we make two colossal mistakes. You know, it's our throw-in. And inside of the depth of the 18, and given the opposition and what they're looking for and where we are, and the fact that Sega just came on the field, we just can't throw the ball in front of our goal like that. And Rod knows it just can't happen. Like, we need to protect our goal and throw the ball forward, and sometimes you live to fight another day on some of these plays. It's not the play that you have to do something. So again, we put Sega in a tough situation. I don't think he's expecting it, and we commit a penalty. And now, 2 minutes later, as we're starting to again organize and get ourselves back going in the game, we give up a corner kick. And we know it's coming to the back post. We've talked about it all week. We know it's coming. It hangs up there, and Mark doesn't see it, and he's in a difficult matchup. And Hollingshead puts it away on us, but we've got to deal with that better. We dealt with a fair number of corners on the day, all really well, and that one we didn't deal with it well. After that, we were pressing. So of course they got some things in transition because that's their game. But I thought the speed at which we were going, the intention, Javi has a great chance or two. Riqui hits one off the post. Lucas hits a nice shot. The keeper makes a good save. So even after all of that, we still had our chances to put ourselves right back in the game and maybe get something out of it. So I'm proud of the guys' effort. It's been an interesting week for everybody, but the effort for the guys was fantastic. And I thought at times our performance was fantastic. I've never been more sure about this group's ability to do something special this season than today. And so, but we've got to cut out the part where we hurt ourselves and make the other team have to beat us and then do our job on the other side.
With Javier starting, you're able to get Ade on the field. We saw a more complete Galaxy in terms of what you have available to you. What were some of the specifics that you saw from that group, from being able to have those guys in there that you see as taking a step forward today?
Yeah, I thought, having Javi in, again, as I've said all week, it's not just having another great player on the field. It's having a leader. It's having kind of an emotional leader who, in the locker room, before we go out, when we're going, he's the most extroverted in the locker room in terms of firing guys up and getting them going. And so I think everybody feeds off that. When you're behind and you see in front of you and you have a striker like Javi that is super intelligent, knows for goal, understands how to make little plays throughout the course of the game, has brought the energy that he needed to, I think, through a good stretch of the game. You have a chance in many of those moments. I used to say that in the past too with the other guys we had in the other team. But so it was nice to have him back. I think again our setup in terms of the game, and especially early in the game when the ball was moving fast, and late in the game when the ball was moving fast, we were going to be a very difficult team to play against. I thought Riqui was excellent today as well. I thought it was his best game of the season so far, which shows you again what he's capable of. I thought Lucas was excellent too, by the way, today. I thought he had a very difficult assignment against the hottest player in the league through much of the day, and I thought he was fantastic. And getting Julian on is good, and it's not an easy entrance for a young guy who's been here for a week to come into this kind of derby and have the pressure of having to try to go get 2 goals out of it. But I thought we saw some really nice things out of him, and we look forward to what he will bring to our group. But like you said, we're starting to get whole. We still believe we have some more to get whole, but we are starting to get there. But
the injury to Chris Mavinga seemed to change little things there. Do you have an update on him? And then maybe you could talk a little bit about Jalen Neal and how a 19-year-old comes in and handles his first El Trafico.
First about Chris, not really sure. It's kind of in the ankle area that was there. So I'm not really quite sure what it is or the extent of the injury. Hopefully nothing too bad. But yeah, it's whenever you're changing center backs in games like this, it's not easy always. And so, and Sega, who hasn't had a ton of minutes for us through the season, but has been really sharp in training. He's entering a highly emotional game and, in a tough situation potentially. So, not easy for any center backs to be put into those types of situations. So, as far as Jalen, I mean, what I've said about Jalen so many times is that it's just his composure. It's the way that he keeps his temperament, his emotion. It's always very, very steady. So it doesn't really matter if it's the El Trafico or if it's training. He's the same emotionally. And when you can do that as a center back and stay in that sort of game reading, problem solving mind, it really helps you through the course of the game. He never, and he makes good reads. He's got a great frame and athleticism. He has a lot of good things going for him, which we're all seeing kind of now come out during these games. He has more growth to go, both physically and as a player, which is really special and going to be fun to watch and be a part of. And I think as he continues to do that, I think he'll become more physical and have a little nasty in there sometimes in the right way, in the right moments, to be even more difficult to play against. But again, he shows you why, in my opinion, I believe he'll be a high level center back, and it just comes from how he works up there.
Hey, Greg, you mentioned it earlier about having your team play well and being able to kind of add time to the game, be the better team. For you as a coach, with the players mentally, kind of how are you able to kind of help them, keep their morale up? They're playing good football. Just unlucky in these moments. For you, how are you kind of dealing with that, your players?
Yeah, look, guys have been around the block and they know how things work, and so it's frustrating. Guys are disappointed. They believe in what they're doing, which is the first and most important thing inside of it. If you believe in what you're doing, and you can understand that you can separate sometimes performance a little bit and result. Ultimately, we're in a results-oriented business, so those are the things that give you really the emotion that you really want to go home, whether you're fans or whether you're players or whether you're anyone. You want the emotion of winning the game, and sometimes almost always, you'd rather win the game than play well. But I think I know they believe that in the way we're playing, there are results inside of this, and a lot of results inside of this. We've got to stop hurting ourselves. We've got to stop having our letdowns, and we've got to take our chances when we get there. And that's just execution at the end of the day. It's execution. And as we continue to get, Javi fit and in front of the goal, he can score goals. We've seen it. And as we continue to get our group whole, we know that there's quality inside of the group, and that will play out over time. Our expected goals is above most teams when we play them on the week, and now we've got to turn that into execution in key moments of the game.
Last one with Sophie. Hey Greg, that was probably one of the best losses I've seen in a long time, especially from a Greg Vanney LA Galaxy team. Really good question there, and just to riff off that a little bit, how do you, there's a player like Riqui Puig today was incredible and put the team on his back. I thought it was probably one of his best games in a Galaxy shirt. Can you talk to us a little bit about him, his performance? Deserved the goal, hit the post, it was insane. He was brilliant today.
Yeah, I think when we get our spacing right and when we get the ball moving quickly, Riqui has the capacity to just pick up the ball on the move and get by almost anyone. It's incredible how he almost accelerates when he has the ball at his foot, and he's faster with it than without it. And the way he can spin out of things and turn, he can sometimes in our midfield he can get you from one line into the next line so quickly, which then changes the whole picture inside of the game. And I thought he did that exceptionally well today. I mean, the amount of times he was able to pick up the ball on the move, get on the other side of their midfield, and then start to initiate attacks out of that is what we need from him, but it's his gold. It's what makes him so fun to watch, and what makes him special is, again, you've seen anybody who's been around the league since the beginning. There was a player, Peter Novak, who was very kind of similar to that. It just was crazy how these guys, they're faster with the ball than they are without the ball. And the way they pick it up on the move and start to turn what looks like maybe just a normal possession into all of a sudden a real attack. And Riqui has that goal. That's his thing. And I think our spacing was good. I think in general over the game, the ball speed was moving, so it was harder to get numbers around him to keep him kind of squeezed in. And when we do that, when we play simple and the ball moves, he finds the right times and spaces to do those special things that he's capable of doing. And tonight, a lot of those were working for good stretches of the game.
All right, thanks for your time, Greg.
Thank you.
Hey, Javier.
Hey, man.
Hello? Is it on?
Hello, yeah.
Hello?
It's fine, I can hear you.
What can you take from this game here? You guys down 3-1, you fight back to 3-2, you push for a goal there, one goal short.
Yeah, I think the whole context is like, and it's not an excuse, but we outwork them, we dominate them, but just we did the mistakes that they didn't do. Simple as that. It's like that. The first goal that we lost the ball in a very easy way, then the penalty, and then a set piece. If you see, they weren't, even in the counterattacks that they had, JK did amazingly. They missed chances like we did too. But literally, I think, we did more mistakes than them, and that's why they won.
You also did a lot of very good things today, maybe more than we've seen in the Galaxy game this season.
Well, if you think like that, we appreciate it because, yes, the context is like, unfortunately, we're in a business about results, literally, right? And we haven't won, and of course, we cannot celebrate or be happy about it because results haven't happened. But yeah, the bright side is like, it's just 7 games that we played. But today, I think, regardless of the result, it was the best performance, in my opinion, that we did, because honestly, if LAFC is considered the best team of the league, like I told you, we outplayed them. The problem is we did very naive mistakes, all of us, right? And then their goalkeeper did an amazing save in my chance. I need to score it, but yeah, there are some plays that I can come and tell you guys I miss it, right? Because I decided badly, but I think it was an unbelievable save, So we tried to fight back. Then the players who came in made a very good difference, and yeah, like I told you, that's like my summary, right? We played way better than them, but as well we did more mistakes than them.
A lot of LAFC fans in the crowd today. How did that affect you?
Nothing.
Into the game? Not at all?
No, man, it's even better. It's even better. It motivates me more. People think that when they send you some of that energy for players like me, they motivate me, If I see the crowd empty, for example, without them, I will be more like, I want people to be like pissing me off and shouting stuff and like, I get motivated. Everything is noise, man. It's energy. It's the way that you manipulated them. As well, like we ask our fans to come because, they do a very big impact in us. They don't realize that. So for me, no, it doesn't affect us. It's even better to have like fans from the away team. I like it.
Hey, Javier. You mentioned it earlier, LAFC, one of the best teams in the league. This club has kind of struggled to get results.
I said if you consider them like one of the best teams of the league. I didn't say they were the best one. Just to clear the context, okay? Because you see, that's why sometimes I didn't say that. Sorry?
In the table, they're one of the best teams in the league.
In your opinion, yeah. It's the way that it ends, man. It's 34 games. We have the same narrative in my last 2 years, and then in the end we qualified in playoffs. We were the 4th seed, and then they were even more scared that they were going to fight against us if we, in the past, beat Nashville, right? They prefer Nashville than us. So, man, they are doing a very good job. They're doing a great things, but for us, yeah, it's a result job over here, and we depend on that, and unfortunately, we haven't delivered, but the bright side is just the beginning.
Yeah, but you saw a lot of the players kind of play out, do their best performance of the year. As a captain, how much do you like to see that, knowing that this team has kind of, had some frustrating, results, not being able to get wins for you, being able to see them play their hearts out today?
Today performance, taking out the mistakes, is the minimum that we need to show every game.
Javier, I was saying to Greag that's one of the best.
Where are you from? Sorry.
I'm from London, England, but I
okay.
live here. I live in
Oh, really?
California. Yeah.
I miss that accent a little bit.
Yeah. It's not been a good day for my teams, so here we go.
What's your team?
Arsenal.
Yeah, it was tough.
Come on.
I saw it.
You
Good
did?
for my team, though.
Yeah,
We won.
well, you're a hammer. Do you think it's over for us then? Do you think Manchester City now, they sniff, they're predators, they're like...
I mean, I think we are happy because it got more interesting, Sometimes when you see teams when they are already like 8 points ahead and, like before the end of the season, like 4 games before the end of the season that you already know who's going to win. I won one Premier League like that, but then I lost one in a very painful way against Manchester City. I don't know if you remember
Yes.
that goal. So, yeah, it's more interesting when they are close, each time. So we'll see. They have a game against between each other, so that's going to be key.
Yeah, the week after next,
Yeah.
I'm counting down.
Yeah.
So hopefully your team Arsenal, though.
Well, we'll see. I want Arsenal to win the league, actually, because I don't want the neighbours to win it.
Yeah, the noisy neighbours.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of noisy neighbours, LAFC, this was a game that was a great loss. I don't know if that's possible. As a
It
professional footballer
It is.
and me as a kind of a media person, but also a
I
fan.
appreciate it, man, that you say that, because it's... sometimes the message that I try to do, and I always tell you that you have a part in that sense. Let's educate people that there are ways to lose too. Of course there are ways. We don't want to lose, man. You saw me today. I don't want to lose. I hate losing. But there are ways to lose. There are gray areas. It's not just black and white. It's not just like, amazing and terrible. There are ways to lose. And the way that we lost today, it's a way that I'm very proud of it. I prefer to lose like this 10 more games than in the way that we lost against Houston or against another teams, right? But as well, if you give me a chance, and what is in my head, and every night before I go to bed, it's myself lifting the trophy with my teammates. That's what we want. So to do that, we need to improve every day, every training, every detail matter, every play matter. Today is a very clear example of that. We dominate the best team of the league, but as well, we were the one who give away the goals, right? They need to score. Vela needs to score that amazing goal, of course, and Vela needs to score the penalty, and then the third goal, a very good header, but we give them that something that they don't give us if you see each team. So that's the difference, that we can be the best team in the MLS, but we need to grow in the more mentally and emotionally way, and it's going to be translated in the decision-making inside the field.
Hola Javier, ¿cómo estás?
¿Qué onda?
Aquí, qué gusto saludarte.
Ah, qué milagro, mira.
Milagro.
Muchos años sin verte.
Muchos años, hermano.
Wow, se me hace hasta raro. Digo, ¿qué haces aquí? No estamos en la selección. ¿Qué haces aquí?
Pues ya casi vienes.
Bienvenido.
Por ahí vas. Muchas gracias. Qué gusto verte, Javier.
Igualmente.
Preguntarte 2 cositas rápido, puntualmente en eso. ¿Cómo estás físicamente? ¿Cómo te sientes después de pocos minutos en varios
Ahorita
meses?
muerto.
Y te lo pregunto porque, bueno, fue el tema que causó,
Sí.
¿no? Que la parte física es por lo cual no estás en selección.
Ajá.
Y la otra, si me permites, ¿consideras que ya ha sido excesivo?
¿Que ha sido excesivo?
No, que ya ha sido excesivo
Ajá.
tu ausencia por este castigo, falta, ausencia en selección mexicana.
Ajá.
¿Sí lo consideras?
Mira, principalmente voy a empezar obviamente con la pregunta que me hiciste de lo físico. Pues mira, jugué 90 minutos. La verdad, Normalmente la progresión debió haber sido como fue contra Houston de 30 a 35 minutos, obviamente, y después en este partido, si las cosas salían de la manera positiva que todo planeábamos, era que yo jugara un aproximado de entre 60 y 70 minutos, pero obviamente como estaba el partido y como se dieron las circunstancias, pues bueno, básicamente decidimos Greag y yo jugar los 90, ¿no? O al menos si me sentía muy cansado o me acalambraba o ya no podía, yo le iba a decir a Greag, ¿no? Y me sentí muy bien, la verdad, no sé, mira, lo que yo me sentí es muy bien, el cuerpo médico está muy feliz y muy contento, el staff también, igual que mi entrenador, y yo también, de que jugué 90 minutos después de que jugué varios partidos en amistosos, pero si se fijan, creo que el último partido fue contra los vecinos cuando nos eliminaron en los playoffs. Son casi 6 meses sin haber jugado. Y para un jugador de mi edad que haya podido hacer ese salto, pues significa mucho también, ¿no? Significa algo muy bueno. Tener 34 años, poder jugar 90 minutos en tu segundo partido y muy bien y en las condiciones como se me vieron. Obviamente me hace falta ritmo futbolístico, que tú sabes que eso solamente se da jugando, ¿no? Jugando partidos. Y luego de lo de mi ausencia, mira, yo soy un fiel creyente y tú bien me has conocido también ya durante mucho tiempo, de que todos podemos dar un granito de arena desde nuestra trinchera, ¿sabes? Y yo por eso ese ha sido mi mensaje también desde antes del Mundial, que yo siendo un aficionado, si se le puede llamar, y no he estado siendo considerado, pues yo apoyaba y deseaba lo mejor y quiero ver a mis compañeros brillar, porque yo... No es que yo quiera brillar dentro de la selección, yo quiero ver brillar a la selección, pero también sé que puedo dar ese granito de arena todavía ahí dentro de cualquier manera. Sí también coincide con la idea del entrenador, porque si no, como bien te lo he dicho, ha habido veces que he sido convocado y ha habido veces que no he sido convocado, como también en mis equipos. Hay veces que me consideran titular y hay veces que me consideran banca, ¿no? Y son cosas que no están al alcance de tu mano. Entonces, yo amo mi país, yo estoy abierto a que se pueda dar, estoy tratando de hacerlo de la mejor manera en mi equipo para sobresalir, para así tener posibilidades de ser tomado en cuenta, pero yo, dentro o fuera, siempre le voy a desear lo mejor a mi selección.
Última, rápido. La plática con Diego Coca, ¿la has sentido más franca, más directa, más clara a comparación del anterior técnico? Gracias, Javier.
No la voy a comparar en cuestión al anterior técnico, ¿cómo los voy a comparar? Porque las dos fueron claras y las dos fueron honestas, o sea, en las dos perspectivas, las llamadas. Lo que de verdad a mí, y se lo agradecí muchísimo a Coca, fue que yo lo tomé como un gesto, porque yo creo que un entrenador nunca te debe dar explicaciones del por qué estás o por qué no estás, ¿sabes? O sea, que a mí me sorprendió, me habló Toñito Manzanares, y cuando me habló Toñito Manzanares, se los juro, yo iba a empezar a hacer stream cuando sucedió, yo estaba preparando todo y de repente me habló Toñito y hablando con él, yo como, pues Toñito, ¿cómo estás? Pues tanto tiempo, tal, y de repente, te lo juro, me dice, oye, el mister quiere hablar contigo, y yo, cabrón, ok, gracias, ¿no? Entonces, ahí dije, guay, a ver qué está pasando. Y ya hablé con él y lo único que fue muy honesto y muy directo, me dijo de que las puertas están abiertas para todos, que esta llamada era para eso, para que yo siguiera haciendo lo mejor y que si él considerara que sea oportuna mi convocatoria, pues lo se iba a dar, y me comentó que no nada más conmigo, sino con todos los jugadores. Y yo le agradecí el gesto, porque para mí es un gesto muy bonito que me haya tomado en cuenta, más allá si me llame o no, ¿no? Que te den a entender de que pues, las puertas están abiertas, pero que cada uno la tenemos que ganar. De nada.
Javier, ¿nos puedes hablar un poquito en español del partido, especialmente cuando están 3-1 abajo? Se pudo haber caído el equipo, pero todavía le pegaron al poste y estuvieron muy cerca, incluso de empatar al final.
No, yo voy a darte más contexto. Mira, yo te voy a hablar más que de ese momento, que te lo agradezco porque fue el momento, yo creo que más resiliente y más bonito que pudimos mostrar como equipo, ¿no? Porque se sintió que casi los empatábamos al final. Pero yo lo dije en inglés y creo que hoy fuimos sumamente superiores, pero también cometimos los errores más graves y por eso ganó el equipo contrario. Así fue, es muy claro. Pero también esta forma de perder, lo hablamos ahorita en inglés, pues es una forma positiva de perder. Vaya la paradoja, ¿no? Pero así es la vida y también hay que educar también a la gente que hay formas de perder, que también, aunque vivamos en un trabajo y en un medio resultadista, que obviamente prefiero ganar 34 partidos 1-0 jugando horrible que jugando muy bien y perder los 34, ¿no? Pero que bueno, que de esta manera, en este camino, creo que estamos sembrando, aunque todavía no se sienta, aunque todavía no parezca, estamos sembrando y después la cosecha va a llegar si seguimos con esta consistencia y como lo dije ahorita en inglés, dejando de lado los errores que hoy cometimos, el nivel que mostramos mental, emocional y también futbolísticamente es el mínimo que tenemos que mostrar cada partido.
Thanks for your time, Javi.
Oh, thank you, Vicky.
You scored a spectacular goal. I've got to think that's a play that's one of the signature plays of your career if you win this game.
Yeah, I tend to like the big games. I always have to give glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, but very disappointed in the result. It would have been very sweet scoring my first goal in my first derby if we won, but the defeat trumps all of that, and we leave feeling disappointed.
It was a game where the mistakes you guys committed really made a difference in the game, and throw those out, and you guys played a pretty good game. How did you feel about in terms of this team taking a step forward in this match?
Yeah, definitely. We showed that we are a team that can be dangerous and can be taken seriously in this league. Everyone's saying that LAFC are a great team, but I think we dominated them today. And yeah, we just showed togetherness today. We fought really hard, and a couple mistakes led to goals, and we were unlucky not to get the result.
Tyler, can you talk us through that goal a little bit? I think it was Bergman gave you that pass, right? And then there's a turn. Can you talk us through that thing?
Yeah, just building confidence. I came inside earlier on my left foot, had a good shot. It was pretty dangerous, and I was just building confidence from then. And when he passed me that ball and I made the turn, I was just thinking, get this on target. And yeah, it felt really good to score my first goal at home in this stadium that I love and for this club that I love. But like I said, super disappointed in the result.
In that moment, though, you bring the Galaxy back into the game just before halftime. I mean, that had to have been a talking point at halftime.
Yeah, we were in it. We were dominating first 20 minutes, and then they had a few dangerous counterattacks. But the goal brought us back, and we had confidence that we could take the result. It didn't go our way, but we'll keep moving forward, keep working hard. We've been working real hard. This was a great week of training. We're pushing each other, demanding a lot of each other. So I think we're heading in the right direction.
And your thoughts on your first El Trafico, the weird and wacky game that always is?
Yeah, like I said, I love the big games. It was special. It was a special game, and it just would have been sweet if we won.
Hey Tyler, to kind of build up on that last question, you know, you've played in Turkey in some big derbies there. You know, this league's starting to grow. Do you feel like this derby right here kind of has a similar vibe to those derbies in Turkey?
Yeah, it's hostile. You can see there was a little bit of shenanigans going on in the crowd. You can see it. Everyone's really passionate here, and it's building every year in this league. I'm super happy to be in this league and in this club, and to have the LA derby, it's pretty cool. I think it's probably the biggest derby in the league, and I think it'll continue to grow.
Hey, Tyler. So yourself, Javier, Greag have all said that you guys dominated the match. Unfortunately, you guys didn't get the win. So you guys have another tough match next week against Austin. What qualities from today do you want to see transfer over to next week?
Like I said before, I think the togetherness. You can see we got each other's backs, and we're fighting hard as a team. We were winning the duels, especially first half, and we showed belief even though we've had such a tough start to the league. But I think now's the time to stick together as a team, and when we do start getting those wins, I know they're going to feel just even more sweet. When you go through hard times and then you have success, it feels even better. So I'm looking forward to those times.
Yeah, there was a point in the second half where Riqui was, gesticulating towards the crowd, trying to. I don't know if he was, going against anybody against LAFC or trying to get the crowd pumped up. But is that the kind of fight that you want to see for the badge? And then what was talked about in regards to that after the game?
Yeah, I think it's always good when players show passion, whether that's firing up the crowd or getting involved. That's what we need. We need players that are engaged and passionate about the game. So I think that's a good thing. And yeah, I think it stays inside. What the coach says after the game stays in the locker room. And yeah, we're just building on to next week, and we just need that first win, and I think it's going to flow.
Thanks for your time, Tyler.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Jalen, just your overall thoughts on your first El Trafico. Greg's talked about the mistakes you guys made. We could point to 2 mistakes late in the second half. But overall, your thoughts on how you guys played and your overall performance today.
I think we played great as a team, to be honest. I mean, it's the same thing that's happened in other games as well, and I talked about it the last time I talked about this subject. It's just the matter of putting the ball in the back of the net. We're kind of having some trouble with that at the moment, but we put the ball in the back of the net 2 times today, which is a good turning point for us. But I mean, just those mistakes and us letting ourselves down, we have to fix up on.
And then just the atmosphere of your first El Trafico.
I mean, it was great. There was a lot of noise. The fans that came out, I thank them for their support. I heard them. They were loud. They did their thing. I mean, yeah, it's what I expected today.
We've seen you next to Martin all season. Today you're with Chris and then with Sega.
Yes.
Just these are the first games you've played in this league. You just seem like you've been in this league for a long time, the way that you're playing.
Thank you.
And now with 2 new center backs, that's a partnership that's so important, where you've got to be on the same page. Just how was the acclimation with that? What was it like playing with them versus Martin, and just the ability to keep the confidence with these new guys?
Yeah, it was no problem, to be honest. I mean, all the center backs in this group and defenders in general have a good connection, good chemistry with each other. We're a pretty tight-knit group, I'd say. We're always helping each other, supporting each other, in training. In the functional groups, we're always sticking together. We have video together. So it's a really tight group, I'd say. So it's no problem, any switches in and out the lineup. I think anybody in the back four, any defenders, they can adapt to anyone on the field.
Jalen, I know you answered the El Trafico question. It's more about your mentality coming into this game. Did anything change for you? Because Greag always comments on sort of your calm steadiness out there, your ability to solve problems, and he says in big games that if you have that right mentality, it doesn't really change anything for you. Did anything feel different today, or was there a little more juice?
I mean, obviously there comes a little more juice coming into a rivalry game. But, I mean, the preparation, nothing changed. Mindset, nothing changed. Go out there, give it your all. I mean, you do that every weekend. You're going to impress eventually, and, people are going to see it. I mean, yeah, nothing really changed. I mean, tactics changed. Yeah, nothing personal, though.
Do you feel like you need to improve on a whole bunch of things? Do you feel like you're pretty comfortable where you're at right now?
I can improve on everything in my game. Yeah, everything can make an improvement, I would say.
Hey, Jalen. Earlier, Greag kind of talked and highlighted your composure. Composure is definitely one of the attributes that's kind of really hard to kind of learn. I'm just curious to know, what do you think has fueled you being very composed as a center back, especially in a game today where it's, an intense derby?
I mean, I don't know where I get it from, but I mean, I just think it's good to keep a composed mind in games like these when, all the fans, all the noise, it can get to players very easily. Your emotions can get ahead of you, and, just keeping a stable mindset just makes it so much easier. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I would say so. Thank you.